cracker. Cow's milk. You guys drink any cow's milk? When I talk about cow's milk, it's almost like talking about the Bible, or about the Quran, or about, whatever kind of religious book. You get all these people coming in, you get shots fired from this angle, you get head shots from that angle, get chest shots from that angle. I might as well lie down and die. Get shot from everywhere. Everyone's got opinions, and we're allowed to have opinions. All right? Now let's look at milk. When we drink milk, our ability to really properly digest lactose in cow's milk, that really goes down after childhood. So most kids, to some degree, can tolerate lactose. Okay, so they've got sufficient lactase, but as they go through childhood, their ability to produce good amounts of lactase drops right off. Okay, so and we call this epigenetic. So it's not really because the gene gets damaged, but something really modifies the gene. So I read a very interesting study done by a Norwegian microbiologist who said that people in Norway, about 80–90% can tolerate milk. But his good friend could tolerate milk for years, but then as an adult, all of a sudden, the tolerability disappeared. And when he found out that his friend was taking antibiotics that affected his gut, so something really caused some damage there, not to the actual strand of DNA, but to the sequencing of it. So we call this epigenetic. So what this microbiologist is saying, that if you eat lactic acid, for example, it can, in some cases, really increase your ability to digest lactose. I find personally I don't have a problem with milk unless I have too much. So small amounts of milk in my diet seem to be fine, especially if it's fresh cow's milk that's not pasteurized or homogenized. I don't have a problem with that. But if it's commercial stuff, I'll get all phlegmed up and and get mucus everywhere like a lot of people do. When you get a reaction with the food, and it's that food, you're best to avoid that food, okay? But I don't like hearing stories that milk's made by cows for cows and stuff like that. That's really a pretty dumb statement. I mean, we could easily say Coca-Cola is made for humans, by humans. We could say the same thing, okay? So it doesn't wash out with me. Some people want to drink milk, some people don't want to drink milk. But having a nice cup of espresso with a nice frothy bit of milk on top, for me, is one of life's greatest pleasures. So I think milk is not an issue for most people, particularly if it's really been modified through the yogurt making process. But you need to be careful with milk in general. I don't really believe it's a great idea to drink several glasses of milk a day, because high milk consumption has been linked with an increase in inflammatory proteins in the body. And I've seen far too many patients over the years who were hooked on large amounts of milkshakes and drinks, all suffer the fate of heart disease and strokes. I've certainly seen links there. So my recommendation is to be very cautious with milk, unless it's straight from the cow, it's not homogenized, it's not pasteurized, you've got small amounts of it in your diet. I see it as a perfectly fine food to have, but not to drink gallons of commercial stuff like anything, But yeah, just be cautious with milk. But for many people, the tolerability depends also on their gut, the type of species they've got there, if the gut's permeable or leaky, and also very much so genetically, okay? If you've got a history there of eczema, asthma, or known allergies, for example, milk is certainly a food that you may well want to take out of your diet, along with peanuts, maybe corn and other trigger foods. Thanks for tuning in. Click on the link in the description box if you want my report. Thank you.